Welcome to today's edition of the Peanut Gallery. With me today are Laura and Keegan Rothrock. They are involved in travel softball, and Keegan was recruited and committed to the University of Florida, and she was in 7th grade. Laura is involved in the Tincher Pitching School, and so we're going to find out a little bit about Keegan, how this process worked. And obviously recruiting has changed nowadays, that if a boys basketball player such as LeBron James was recruited in 7th grade, it would have been all over ESPN and everywhere else. So first of all, congratulations, Keegan. Second of all, let's just both of you can kind of chime in here and just tell us a little bit about how that recruiting process worked at such an early age.
For me at an early age, it was more exciting than it was real yet. So I got to go to a lot of football games, and I got to meet a lot of people that I don't think I would have been able to meet if I wasn't recruited so young.
What all schools did you get to travel to?
So it kind of started, I want to backtrack a little bit. So it kind of started, she's always wanted to go to University of Florida and play. So we were in a tournament, 10U, 12U, and we were in Florida, and she wanted to stop by University of Florida and look at it. And she said, I'm going to play here one day. And so a couple years later, we decided we're going to go to a camp when we're there. And that's kind of when it all started, when she went to the camp, and she liked it, and she was throwing well, better than most her age, obviously. And so we just kept going back to camps because that's where she liked to go. So
how many schools did you have recruiting her?
A lot. We ended up to
Oklahoma,
Auburn, yeah,
Missouri,
Notre Dame,
and then Florida. Those were the 5.
She kind of cut it off because she was done doing the recruiting part of it because she knew where she wanted to go. So.
Okay. How did it?
Coach Walton had told me that he wanted her to go visit her top 5 schools before she made any kind of verbal to him, just to make sure she was sure what she wanted to do.
Okay. What led up to 7th grade to get the attention? Obviously, travel ball was there. How did the Tincher pitching come into play there? Just explain that a little bit.
I would say travel ball. I coached local for 3 years. I coached her for 3 years. She, I never gave her pitching lessons. She was hitting her elbow on her hip, and I didn't know how to fix it. So we did our research and found Tincher pitching. The closest certified instructor was in Chicago. So Greg drove her to Chicago every Wednesday for 2 years. They would get home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every week. And it's the style of pitching that she was taught. And that's kind of how I got into it, was, going to her lessons and understanding what they teach and why. I decided that was what I wanted to be able to give to all my kids. And, be able to make the average pitcher great. So it's kind of how we got there.
How did that help you, Keegan? Sorry.
That actually helped me a lot because I stopped hitting my elbow. And then once he got me to stop hitting my elbow, he taught me how to use my body properly and he taught me how to get myself to the best possible. And then along with that, when he taught me how to use my body properly, I gained a lot of speed from that.
How fast have you been clocked at?
69 is the high.
Okay. And I know that's pretty much equal to 90s if they translated it to baseball for those baseball people watching.
Yeah, that's just her top. She's consistently anywhere between 64 and 67, 68.
Okay. So your travel ball experiences, what kind of success have you had in the travel ball, both of you, as a coach and as a player?
Go ahead. Travel ball. So after I was done coaching, I was coaching a local travel team, and I got to the point, we both kind of got to the point where we wanted her to be surrounded with players as good as or better than her to make her work harder. And so we started playing on a team out of Chicago. So we played with the Beverly Bandits for 2 years, year and a half, something like that. So that's kind of where it all started as far as the recruiting goes. It's a big organization, and they play a lot of big tournaments that coaches go to, and that's kind of how she started getting looked at from other schools. And now we are currently with the Tennessee Mojo, and there's, I'd say, 8 to 10. I don't remember how many's on our team. Players that are committed to the SEC, one to Northwestern, one to Louisiana Lafayette. And then they just won the PGF National Championship last year out in California. So
That's fantastic. And you're playing in a tournament actually right now, and I've caught you at a break. You said you've had 3 games today. How many games have you played in this tournament so far, and how many more could you yet play?
Yep.
I think we've played 5.
Played 5. And to win it tomorrow, our team is a first-year 16U team, and we're playing in an open 16U, 18U tournament. So for us to win everything, it's 8, 10, and noon tomorrow, back to back.
Okay. Going back to the Tinter pitching, I've seen a lot of the pictures that you posted. You've had quite a few girls that have been recruited by colleges. Is that just from exposure from that camp, or playing on travel ball teams associated with it?
Playing on travel ball teams is, they're going to get noticed, but them being a strong pitcher is how they make it to those travel teams. So
what was it like as a parent to have your 7th grade daughter being recruited by such big colleges?
It's kind of weird, actually. Not weird. It was so much different than when I was in high school, and we didn't really play travel ball back when I was in high school. We did, but it wasn't like it is now. Like, I could play everything. So I don't know. It was new. It was fun watching her, and as long as she was having fun, then that's really all that mattered to us.
Did you pretty much know you were going to go to Florida, or were you listening to offers from other schools as well?
It's always been my dream to go to Florida, so I kind of already knew that I wanted to go there. But Coach Wallen had asked me to go to my other top 5 schools and see if I liked them or if there was anything that I liked in those schools over Florida, but I didn't. So
she had offered all the schools, and a couple of them actually offered her, her and a friend of her choice to go. And one of them offered her 6 years for part of grad school, but she wanted to go to Florida.
So what was the recruiting process like? Did all of them want her to come to campus and see the campus, and what all kinds of things went into that?
So it was all before the rule changed. You can't do any of that now after they changed the rule a year or so ago. We would go in for a camp, and a couple of them would have like scrimmage games that they would play in scrimmage games, and then we would go on a tour of campus and all of that stuff. So
what other positions do you play?
I can play first. So that's about it.
Okay, so the main thing she does is pitch.
Yeah.
She pitches and she hits.
Okay.
She just hit a home last night, actually.
Well, congratulations. What are some of the best games you've had pitching?
The championship game in California. There's a couple teams that are always harder to pitch against, so those are always good games, and they're usually closer and runs scored. So those have probably been my best games against the better teams that we've played.
What about your 11? We had an 11-inning game also last year in California. And so every extra inning, every tiebreaker inning, we actually intentionally loaded the bases every inning. So
really,
we got,
what was the strategy there?
just because they were all big hitters, and it made it easier to make the plays we needed to.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
And I assume your team's won tournaments in the past, several probably.
Yeah. Did we
She's
lose?
got
it? Oh yeah, we did. Colorado.
Colorado and
Yeah,
Kansas.
Kansas City.
I assume she has no hitters under her belt as well.
Yeah, I got some no hitters and a couple of perfect games.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
highest strikeout totals you've racked up?
Ooh, we had she averages like
I had a perfect game.
2.75 strikeouts an inning.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Oops.
Yep, that's okay. So what are some of your ambitions between now and actually getting to college and getting to play? Or now that you've committed, do you think that takes some pressure off, where you can just play and enjoy the game? You don't have to worry about that anymore.
I think it's kind of both, because I can't really let up on anything. I have to keep training to go to college, but the pressure of having to get recruited isn't on my back, but the pressure of having to keep up with everything is still there.
That's great. Well, I don't want to keep you guys. I know you have to get up and play early in the morning, so I just want to thank you for coming on, and I appreciate it. And congratulations on your getting to go play for the University of Florida. Laura, before we go real quick, how much have things changed since you played in high school?
Like everything. I mean, back when I was in high school, I could play, AAU basketball and softball and volleyball, and it was okay because everybody was doing it. Now, I mean, it's year round for the most part. I mean, she shuts down. Probably 2 or 3 months out of the year, we'll completely shut her down. She's not allowed to pick up a ball. So other than that, it's night and day.
I assume she got your work ethic from, and what I'm talking about more than anything is I can remember your senior year, you tore your ACL, and just in a short period of time managed to work hard enough to get back and not even miss a softball practice.
Yeah.
That was kind of unbelievable, to be honest. I don't know what you went through, but talk a little bit about what you went through to get to that. What was it, 5 months?
I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I feel so old.
Yeah.
I remember tearing it right before sectional of basketball season and being able to come back. And so, I mean, whenever that time frame is, like a week before sectionals of basketball and then back for softball. So I would say she probably has a better work ethic than I ever did. So.
Well, congratulations to you both, and hopefully things keep going well at the pitching school. And Keegan, good luck the rest of the summer. And again, thank you guys very much for coming on. And until the next edition, this is a Peanut Gallery.